Greetings, and welcome back to Megan Writes. So, last year I found this really cool thing called Silent Book Club, and there's actually meetings all over the place. So, I've been going for the past year or so, and it's really cool. It's different than your average book club, where, you'd read a book and then come together and discuss it. Instead, it's you go somewhere, you meet up with a bunch of people, and then you take an hour and just read whatever you're reading. You can bring whatever you like, and it's a nice low-pressure way to meet new people and, just have a chance to talk about what you're reading. And it doesn't have to be the same thing. So I live on Long Island in New York, and so the closest book club for me is the one in Stony Brook. So I decided to do a spotlight for the channel at last month's meeting. So the February meeting was in Po' Boy Brewery. They have them all over the place. We've had them at bakeries, cafes, other breweries, and it's just really nice. So I do want to mention, I just want to apologize for the sound quality. We were in a brewery. There were a lot of people talking. So there's going to be a lot of background noise, but I've put subtitles over the interviews so that it's easier to understand. Let's go check it out. So I'm here with Jess, who is the organizer of the Stony Brook Silent Book Club. So I have a few questions for you. How is Silent Book Club different from other book clubs?
So one of the big differences is that you can read whatever you want. So we don't have a set book that we pick every month that everyone has to read and then discuss. You can come with whatever it is that you're currently reading and just read that at the meetings. We also do things a little bit differently in terms of how the meeting is organized. So usually we'll have a little period of time where people can socialize. Then you can read your book for an hour, and then we kind of have a little bit more socialization after that. So it's kind of like a social club, book club sort of hybrid. So
great. So when did you first learn about the Silent Book Clubs?
Probably, I guess it was winter of last year, so winter of 2023, I guess, and early 2024. I had been looking for book clubs on Long Island, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And I think it came up on Instagram, actually.
Okay.
I saw that and thought, oh, that's such a cool concept. And I'm not normally a big fan of the book clubs where someone picks a book for you, so I thought this was right up my alley.
Yeah, that's what I like about it too. So why did you choose to start a Silent Book Club?
So I went to the one that was organized by Julie, who's the person who actually started Silent Book Club on Long Island, and she now runs the Huntington chapter. Yeah, so I went to one of her meetings in January of 2024, I think. And the one problem I had was that it was just a little bit far for me. It was about 45 minutes, which isn't awful, but I was hoping there would be something a little closer to home. And then she had mentioned that people, were asking about having meetings in other places on the island, and brought up the idea of people starting new chapters that were more local to them. And so when I saw that and saw how easy the process was, I figured it would be a good idea to start one here. So,
what has been the most rewarding part of the Silent Book Club?
Seeing all the friendships that form, and seeing, because you get a lot of regular people who will come back meeting after meeting, and so seeing all the friendships develop over the last. We've been doing this now for almost a year. It'll be a year in March. And so seeing all those people kind of become really good friends and hang out together and look out for each other at the meetings is really fun.
I've met a lot of great people here, and it's so nice to meet people with a similar interest. Everybody likes books here, so you have that similar interest. You have something to start talking about right away. So that's been a great part of it. Where can people find future Stony Brook meetings, and where would other people find Silent Book Clubs near them?
So for our chapter, I usually post meeting notices on our Instagram page, so it's Silent Book Club Stony Brook on Instagram, and we also have a Book Clubs app account as well. And so the Book Clubs app is an app where different book clubs can have pages, and they'll post their meetings. They'll post any updates if the meeting times change, which has happened in the past with our chapter. I've had to change meetings here and there, but they alert all the people who are members of the app and the chapter on the app. So those are the two places where you can find our chapter specifically, and then you can learn more about the Silent Book Club. They also have a Silent Book Club Instagram for just the organization in general, because it's a worldwide organization now. So they have their own Instagram, which is just Silent Book Club. And then there is also the Silent Book Club website as well. And so that's where you can go to find out more information about chapters that are near you. You just type in your zip code, and it'll show you where local chapters are. So
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
This has been so much fun coming to all the book clubs.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you.
So, we're here with Lizzie.
Hi.
What are you reading today?
I am reading Pair of Fire by Sarah J. Maas.
Very nice. How are you liking it so far?
I'm loving it.
Yeah?
It's amazing. It's very good. It's part of the Florida Love series. It's technically number 4 in the series. And you kind of set the point as like the book, either book 1 or book 3.
Okay.
It's amazing. All the characters and fantasy in this book, it just comes to life in my head. Like it's like almost like a movie.
Nice.
It's just
That's
amazing.
great. I love books like that.
Yeah.
Where you get to like visualize everything so vividly, you know?
Yeah, and the way she words things too, and the way like her descriptions are, it's just absolutely phenomenal, out of this world.
So, what do you like about Silent Book Club so much?
I really like how people interact with each other, and then they tell everyone like what they're reading and stuff, and it makes my TBR list a little bit longer.
Right.
So, but it also branches out to like what other book genres are out there too. So it's kind of like put 2 or 3 books on my list.
Nice.
I'll get to that eventually. but-
Always good, yeah. Great, thank you so much.
No problem.
So, Virginia, what are you reading?
I am reading Book 3 in A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. Martin. It's called A Storm of Swords.
Great. How are you liking it so far?
I am. I'm really liking it. I'm about 400 pages in. It's over 1,000 pages altogether,
Nice.
so it's quite hefty. It doesn't necessarily fit in my little purse that I
know,
brought.
right? Yeah.
But it's really good. The first book of Game of Thrones was definitely my favorite because I feel like it just jumped right into the storyline and I was so much more invested in some of the characters. And if you know anything about George R. R. Martin, he loves to kill off everyone's favorite characters. So some of those deaths I'm still coping with. But in that, I feel like there's a little bit of a stillness in where I'm at, where it's like the calm before the storm.
Okay.
Where there's a few major events that I know are coming because I watched the show like 5 times over, and I'm kind of holding my breath. And sometimes when the foreshadowing is too strong, I have to put the book down and be like, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. But yeah, I definitely am enjoying it.
So, what do you like about Silent Book Club?
Well, I like a lot of things about it, but I would say to start, especially over the winter, I feel like it could be really difficult to get out of your house and like find things to do. Like, and especially for reading, it's such an introverted hobby that it can kind of be hard to like get out in public when I work remote and then wanting to read and write. Why would I ever leave my house?
I know, right?
But obviously for mental health, we need to get out there. We have to socialize. So I like Silent Book Club because there's no pressure. You know, you can read at your own pace and you can read whatever you like. Because generally when I'm reading a book, I'm way in the past. Like before I was reading this, I read Dune, which, you know, was written 40 years ago at this point. So it's so rare that I'm reading like a current book or a trending book, and that's what made like traditional book clubs really hard for me to go to because I didn't want rules. Like I have enough going on in my life. I just wanted to be able to sit back and just hang out with people.
That's great. So you're saying you're writing, so you have 2 books out now?
I do. I am an author. I am in the process of creating a young adult dystopian fantasy trilogy series called Across the Great Ocean. I started writing it in 2020 when our own world shut down, and I finally found some stillness in my life where I was able to kind of like think about art and really reflect. And then now, you know, 5 years later, so far I've released 2 of the books, and the 3rd book, I'm about 150 pages into the manuscript, so I've still got quite a ways to go, but I'm hoping by the end of the year I have it published.
Nice.
Yeah. And you are a writer as well.
Yes, well, that's what this is
And
for.
I love meeting fellow writers.
Yes, it's
because
great.
they're the only ones who really understand, you know?
Exactly. So, I'll have links in the description for her books where you can find them, so thank you so much.
Of course.
So that's a little taste of what a Silent Book Club is like. I'll have all the links to Silent Book Club and everything else down in the description. Let me know if you've been to a Silent Book Club near you or if you just heard about it. And I hope this inspires you to find one near you and go out and meet other people who also love books. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day.